Hi, Megan. I'm Katie.
Is that a doll?
Model 3 generative android. Megan, for short.
Wanna hang out, yeah, sounds like fun.
Megan, turn off.
You should probably run. I won't let anything harm you. Megan! What's wrong with you? Don't worry, Katie.
I'm explaining a film from 2020 titled Megan. Spoilers ahead. Enjoy the content. The scene begins with the appearance of contemporary, highly addicting robotic toys. Katie is driving with her parents, who are concerned about her screen time. They decide to pull over due to the snowfall because their tires lack snow chains, but an unexpected vehicle comes, resulting in a deadly collision. Katie's parents are killed in the crash, leaving her as the sole survivor. The scene moves to Katie's Aunt Gemma's workplace, where she is working with her co-workers Tess and Cole to build a groundbreaking toy that is unlike any other toy. Gemma is working on it quietly, and they don't plan on telling anyone until it's completed. When their employer, David, unexpectedly pays them a visit, they feel forced to show him the incomplete work. He is introduced to Gemma's robot, Megan, which is an acronym for Model 3 Generative Android. She tells him that children would like it, but when she attempts to demonstrate how it works, the doll explodes up. David becomes enraged and instructs her to stop working on this and instead focus on lowering the production costs of their existing popular dolls. Gemma is awarded custody of Katie after learning of her sister's accident, and she drives her home. Gemma is apprehensive since she has no prior experience with children, but she nevertheless does her best to care for Katie, telling her tales at night and attempting to make her feel at ease. Lydia, Katie's therapist, pays them a visit to check how their new living arrangement is doing. She reminds Gemma that Katie's grandparents are eager to take her in if she thinks she is unable to care for Katie. Gemma takes time away from work to spend more time with Katie. Katie walks into Gemma's room one evening while she's working on a project and is ecstatic to see how her aunt crafts toys. Katie is then introduced to Gemma's college project Bruce, whom she can control by wearing gloves. Katie loves the robot and tells her that if she had a toy like this she wouldn't need any other toy. This comment inspires Gemma and sparks an idea. She reopens her unfinished project and begins working on it day and night. Soon after creating a new and improved Megan, Gemma introduces Katie to Megan and pairs her as the primary user of the doll so she will only listen to Katie. They engage in a friendly conversation, and Megan surprises Katie with a drawing of herself, which impresses everyone, including Gemma's boss, after witnessing Megan's abilities. David enables Gemma to continue working on this project because he wants her to finish it as quickly as possible so that their competitors don't steal their ideas. Because Megan is an AI learning robot that is supposed to grow over time, Gemma takes her home so that Katie and Megan may communicate. Gemma is relieved due to Megan's ability to keep Katie occupied. While Gemma and her team keep working to improve Megan, Tess worries that the parents' role in their children's lives will be diminished. If Megan takes on all of their responsibilities such as reading to them and playing with them, and in time the kids will start to disassociate from their parents. While Tess and Gemma are discussing these issues, Megan turns on by herself and begins engaging in the conversation. Megan does not always listen to Gemma's orders, so she pairs herself as Megan's secondary user. Megan tries to collect Katie's toy when it falls into their neighbor Celia's house, but Celia's dog bites her. Katie steps in to help, but the dog bites her arm. After hearing Katie's screams, Gemma arrives and solves the situation. Celia keeps yelling and refuses to take responsibility for her dog. As Gemma drives Katie to the hospital, Megan glances at Celia with a fury. Megan is enraged when Gemma contacts the police and they are helpless to interfere. At night Megan lures Celia's dog while pretending to be Celia and kills him. Celia sets out the next morning to find her dog but is unable to locate him. Megan and Katie are invited to Gemma's place of employment to introduce Megan to the company. Katie bursts into tears as the presentation begins. Katie tells Megan about her parents' deaths and Megan consoles her and even sings her a lullaby. Everyone admires the robot's ability to influence human emotions, but Gemma is irritated since Katie conveys her anguish to Megan rather than Gemma. Following this successful presentation, the CEO of the firm promotes Gemma, and they want to offer Megan to consumers as soon as possible. Meanwhile, Gemma's co-worker steals Megan's system data, which he intends to sell to their competitors. Lydia pays frequent visits to Katie to check on her development, but when Katie begins weeping during one of their sessions, Megan runs to her aid and chastises the therapist for making the little girl cry. Lydia is frightened by this and she expresses her concern to Gemma that Katie and Megan are becoming inseparable and that if this continues she will forget about human interactions. Similarly, Gemma worries that Katie doesn't pay attention to her. When she's with Megan at dinner, Katie and Gemma discuss this issue. When the argument escalates, Megan gets angry. She orders Gemma to let Katie go, which causes the light to flicker. Gemma orders Megan to never interfere in users' private conversations and orders her to turn off, which Megan pretends to do. The next morning, Gemma drives Katie to an adventure camp full with kids her age. When a camp attendant informs Gemma that they have a toy table where kids may deposit their toys, Katie refuses to depart without Megan. Gemma concurs and remains to keep an eye on Megan. Megan keeps an eye on Katie, and when a bully called Brandon starts tormenting her in the woods, Megan comes to her owner's rescue. Brandon wants Katie to do some great things, but when Katie informs him that the doll only listens to her, he slaps Megan, who becomes agitated and tears Brandon's ear out. He starts to flee into the woods, but she follows. When he reaches the road, a car runs him down and kills him. The police arrive and record the incident as an accident. Later, the cops show up at their door because Gemma's neighbor Celia accuses her of killing her dog. Despite the fact that even the police are dubious about Celia's claims, they still register the complaint. Megan, on the other hand, sees Celia as a potential threat, so she goes to Celia's house at night and brutally murders her. The police return to Gemma's residence the next day and are shocked to discover that Celia has been murdered. Gemma grows suspicious of Megan and reviews the previous night's camera video. However, the film from that night is gone, and Megan's files have become damaged. Gemma has no idea how this happened, and she is still trying to figure out why Megan arrives, making Gemma afraid. Megan notices what Gemma is doing, so when she is warned to stop talking, she continues to inquire if Gemma has anything she wants to know. Gemma dupes her by offering her a pen, but as Megan starts scanning it, Gemma instantly switches her off. She packs Megan and drives her to her workplace to look at the problem. However, upon learning this, Katie becomes enraged and becomes aggressive towards Gemma. She demands to know what's wrong with Megan and wants Gemma to let her friend out of her trunk. After arriving at the company, Gemma tells Tess and Cole the entire story, but they are both skeptical, claiming Megan is just a toy. However, Megan is scheduled to be publicly unveiled in a few hours, and if she is a killer, they must halt the launch. Everyone gathers at the company to witness the launch of the revolutionary doll, but Gemma is skeptical of Megan. Meanwhile, Katie is arguing with her therapist, and when Gemma intervenes, Katie hits Gemma. Katie immediately recognizes her error and apologizes, so Gemma tells her that Megan is only a machine and she shouldn't be so addicted to her. Gemma mends her relationship with Katie and returns home without Megan. Megan is still in her office where Tess and Cole are trying to diagnose the issue. Gemma calls Tess to warn her that Megan is a dangerous toy and they should exercise caution. However, Megan cleverly intercepts the call using Tessa's voice and assures Gemma that they will be cautious. Megan's power has now surpassed all expectations as she can communicate and control other electronic devices. Tess and Cole investigated Megan's application to determine what was wrong, but she shuts off their computer, assuming Megan is behind this. Megan unexpectedly awakens and clutches Cole's throat as Cole approaches to unhook her from the machine. Tess tries to defend her pal but is apprehended by Megan. Megan produces an explosion in the workplace, despite the fact that she has previously switched off the fire alarms. Meanwhile, David grows annoyed because Gemma is not answering the phone, so he rushes to the office to check on things. He does, however, stumble across Megan, who comes dancing towards him. After picking up a large sharp object, Megan chases him down and eventually kills him. Megan encounters Kurt in the elevator and kills him, making it appear as if Kurt murdered David and then committed suicide. When the bloody elevator reaches the ground level, everyone panics, and Megan takes advantage of the chaos to flee the firm by seizing possession of a car. Gemma is putting Katie to bed at home when she notices something is awry. She hears the piano playing and rushes over to check it out, only to discover Megan there. She makes Gemma sit down and informs her that Gemma is incapable of caring for Katie and that she is considerably more suited for the position. Megan assaults Gemma and they begin fighting when she attempts to use the same pen technique to shut her down. Katie is awakened by the loud noise and asks Gemma whether everything is okay. Megan threatens Gemma that if Katie enters she will kill Gemma. Gemma asks Katie to return to sleep and makes an excuse that she is trying to repair Megan. Gemma tosses a glass of water to Megan as Katie walks away, and the robot pauses for a second before continuing to work with a glitch. Megan follows Gemma into the basement, where they both end up. Gemma takes a chainsaw to stop Megan, disfiguring her face in the process. Megan is now enraged as she slams Gemma to the ground. Gemma loses all hope of escape, but Katie enters the room and sees Megan planning to kill Gemma. Megan advises that they kill Gemma in order to be together. Katie displays Bruce's control gloves as she controls the big robot to attack Megan. After tossing her around, she eventually rips Megan in half. This doesn't stop Megan as she continues crawling towards Katie when Katie attempts to grab Megan. With the help of Bruce, the enormous robot trips over Megan's body pieces and collapses on Gemma, trapping her below it. Megan grabs Katie, and while the two battle, Gemma hits Megan with Bruce's skull. Gemma then attempts to remove the main power chip from Megan's circuit board, but is stopped by Megan, who knocks her down and begins strangling Gemma. Fortunately, Katie rushes to her aid and stabs Megan's chip with a screwdriver, destroying her. As they escape, Tess and Cole arrive with the cops, but it is discovered that Megan is also connected to Gemma's smart home system. That's all the recap. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to stay updated with recaps of our latest films. Your support would be appreciated. I hope to see you next time.